Alright, shalom family. Alright, real quick, I'm going to give a account of when I got attacked by demons. Alright, so the year's 2019 right now. So, let's see. This was about 13 years ago. I think it was, or like 12 years ago. I was in, it was in 2008 or 7. I was living downtown, and I was living a wicked life. I was working at FedEx downtown, living on top of a bar called Star Bar downtown, and I used to party all the time. I used to party all the time, and one day I went to a club called Below, and it was right across the street. And I was drinking, but I had to go to work the next day. So, I didn't want to stay up all night long. So what I did was, I left the club at like 10, because I had to go to work the next day. So I go home and I lay down in the bed. Alright? Now, I left my windows open. So when I come home, I have a breeze. Now, as I got in the bed, I lay down for, a few seconds. I wasn't even asleep. And then something grabbed me, right? And then, so I'm laying in the bed, and then something grabbed me and put my hands behind my back. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. I'm like, this is a dream. But I wasn't asleep. I was trying to believe it was a dream, but it wasn't. So then I calmed down, and then I start analyzing the situation, and then I realized that it was 3 entities right on the side of me. They wouldn't let me see them, but I can sense them. I sense it was 3 of them, and I could like see like a little bit, but I couldn't see I couldn't see them because they're spiritual. They're invincible creatures. So I start talking. I was like, hey, I see you. I said, I see you. And one of them said, hey, he sees us. He sees us. It was 3 of them, and they were all speaking. And one of them said, hey, he sees us. So there was like a hierarchy of them. There was one that was the leader, there was a middle one, and there was a lower one. And the lower one said, hey, he sees us. And I said, yeah, I see you guys. I see you. The whole time I'm looking like this, trying to look inside and see him, but they wouldn't let me see him from the back. So I said, hey, I see you guys. He says, oh yeah, you see us? I said, yeah, I see you. And then they started telling me all types of wickedness, man. They was telling me that I was going to die and this was going to happen to me and da-da-da. I was like, what? So then I start taunting them. I start talking back. I start saying, you guys are the ones that's dead. You guys are the ones that's dead. You guys don't know nothing. I said, I laughed at you guys. I was mocking them. I mean, it was a really, really scary situation. And I didn't understand how scary it was until later on. Until maybe a few years later when I actually thought about it again. Then I started mocking them more. And I said, I laugh at you guys. I said, you guys are nothing to me. Ha, ha, ha. That's why I started doing that. No joke. So they started squeezing my neck really, really hard. The main one, he started squeezing my neck really, really hard, and it freaking hurt. Like I thought I was about to die. So when I did with that, I had no choice but to start praying. At the time, I didn't know who the Most High was. I used to pray to Jehovah because my mom is a Jehovah's Witness, and that's what she told me to do. So I start praying to Jehovah, Jehovah, please help me. Please get these things away from me. Please save me from these things. And what's crazy, what happened is, excuse my language, but these are the words they used. They said, this motherfucker is religious. And then they slapped me on the back of my head and then flew out the window. And the blinds went. And I was like, holy snap. I was like, this is nuts. So I got up, I turned the light on, and I walked around my room for a little bit, and I was like, did that just happen? And I was like, was that a dream? And I was like, nah, because my neck was still hurting. And I was like, man, this was nuts. So I went back to sleep. And then every night after that, I made sure the window was shut. And then this is crazy, but I used to take a towel and put it under the door because there was a hallway right there. It was like I lived in these studios, and there was a hallway that anybody can walk through. It was just a whole bunch of doors, kind of like a hotel room, but it was studios. And so I used to put a towel under the door so nothing could come under the door. That's how serious it was. The next day, I didn't go to work, and I was going to a Don Carlos concert, and then I was going to the concert, and then my brother called me. He's like, "Hey, Reg, come over, man. Let's play some dominoes and drink some beers or something like that." I was like, "Cool." So then I go to his house first. I didn't go to the, I take that back. I went to the Don Carlos concert. As I was done with the Don Carlos concert, I went to his house. And then I get to his house, and we get into a scuffle, right? Long story short, I left. I go back home, and then I'm in the room, and things are speaking to me in my mind, telling me, go kill him, go do this, go do that, go do this. And I didn't understand what that was, but it worked because I got pissed off, I got mad, because my brother stole on me. So I went back over there to that house to go fight him. And then I get back to the house, and then he didn't want to come outside. So then he finally came outside, but he had a butcher knife. So he chased me up, he chased me out the yard, up through an alley, and I couldn't believe what I was going through. And let me show you how these principalities work, alright? Now, as I was in the alley, I ran in the alley, and my brother was chasing me with a butcher knife. I ran, jumped over a fence, and hid in a bush. As I seen my brother, as I was in the bush, as he was walking past me in the dark alley, he had a knife, swinging it back and forth. And his voice was that same demon that attacked me the night before. It was like this, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Where's he at? I'm gonna kill him. So my point here is that those demons manifested through my brother to take me out. But all praise to the Most High for getting me out of it. It was a lesson that I learned. I learned a valuable lesson. These things are serious. It happens. Alright? And till this day, my brother and I are enemies. We're not even, until this day. That was like 13 something years ago. And still to this day, we're still enemies. Still. So that's my account with demons. And other people have it worse. I now know what it is. I know how to fight them off now. Alright? And let me give you a few scriptures on it. We're going to go Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we wrestle against. Our oppressors, these people who are in control of the government, they have demons on their side. And let me get you a scripture on that too. Matter of fact. So it's not just a bunch of humans here. There's even more things, man, but I don't want to go into that. You'll really think I'm crazy then. Let me get my Bible out real quick. Go to one of my notes. It's going to be Psalms 109:6. There we go. Psalms 109:6. Get that back. 109:6. Here it is. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand in his right hand. So this is what's happening right here. There are these wicked men who are over us, and Satan is at his right hand. So he's working his wickedness through the actual humans. So when you see a person driving on the street, driving crazy, I see it all the time. And you see people driving in and out traffic and giving people the bird. They're demon possessed. I had something happen like that to me the other day. You know, as I'm getting more spiritually strong, I can see them now. I can see it. I can see them in humans. I can see them in certain family members. I can see them. I can see the wicked spirits having a control on humans. And your best thing is to stay away from those people. Stay away from them, because they can kill you. They can whack you. We are not up against flesh and blood. We're up against spiritual wickedness in high places, principalities. All right. Let's get James 2:19. Thou believest that there is one God, thou dost well. The devil also believes that and trembles. Now, back in those days, I was calling the Most High Jehovah, and those things mocked me for it. They laughed at me. They was like, ha ha ha, and they slapped me in the back of my head and said, this MFer is religious. That's how I knew that that was the name of the Most High. Because they mocked me and they laughed at it. They laughed at me for saying that. That's how I know that Jehovah is not the name of the Most High. It's Yahuwah. You can get Yahuwah or you can get Yehovah from the actual tetragrammaton in the Hebrew alphabet. Can't get nothing else. And if you're not comfortable with saying those names, then just say the Most High. Okay? Let me get another scripture. So I did Psalms. There we go, James. Oh, I did that. We go Mark. Okay, Mark this is an account, I believe, of demons that were in a man. You can look that up yourself. Mark 5, like Mark 5 through 1 through 20, and they called themselves Legion, and there was a multiple of them. Now I know people who have legions of demons inside of them right now. All right, so I just want to give my quick account of that situation that happened to me. It's never happened again ever since then. They can't touch me now, but they have tried to get to me through people. So they can use other people to come and get to you. That's how it works. So you got to be careful who you let in your house. You got to be careful who you give your personal information to. You got to be very, very careful, because they're all. Once you become a person who's dedicated to trying to be righteous and serve the Most High, they're going to try to get you. Alright? So, that's my quick account on my experiences with the demons. Alright? Shalom.